Hey everyone, welcome back and welcome to my channel. So in today's video I will be talking you through the 9 books that I read within the month of April, as well as the 6 books that are on my May TBR. So starting off with the 9 books that I read in April. April was a pretty good reading month. I was filming a couple like videos and reading vlogs, and I had some really exciting reads. Once again, we have had another month without a 5-star read. We have not had a 5-star read since Return of the Darkness by Laura Carter. We have not had a 5-star read since the start of February, which is absolutely crazy. But this month we had a lot of 4 stars. Honestly, most of them were 4-star reads. We had a couple 3s, 3.5s, but that was about it. Honestly, the majority of the books were 4 stars, and we had quite a lot of new releases come out in April. I'll mention if they're new releases as we go through the list, but let's start. So first of all, a new release, we have Say You'll Remember Me by Abby Jimenez. This book came out April 1st and I read it immediately as soon as it got delivered, and I did have a really good time with this. I really enjoyed our 2 main characters, Samantha and Xavier. I did really enjoy our 2 main characters. I gave it 4 stars, which it was an anticipated 5-star read for me. I don't know whether the reason it was a 4-star, maybe I worked up in my head slightly. I have seen a lot of mixed reviews about this book, which it could mean multiple things, but I did give this a 4-star, and I did really enjoy it. I enjoyed the characters, I did enjoy the plot. I just don't think it felt 100% like an Abby Jimenez book, like Just for the Summer or Yours Truly, which are 6-star reads for me. Then I reread Ricochet by Christopher Ritchie. I finally started to continue my addicted reread. I cannot promise it's going to be continued in May, because I want to be in the mood for them and enjoy them, and I very much pick up this series when I want to. But this is Ricochet. This is the 2nd book in the Addicted Callaway series by Kristen McRitchie. One of my favourite authors. I have read the entire Addicted series, which is 10 books, the Bad Reputation Duet, which is obviously 2, the Like Her series, which is 13, and then I have started the Webs We Weave series, which is currently coming out, which book 2, as I'm filming this, comes out tomorrow in the UK, because it comes out May 1st, UK girlies, and I'm so excited. But Ricochet was a really good read. Again, I'm not going to change my rating from when I first read it, like 3 years ago, but this was a 3.5-star read. Next, we finally read Muse of Nightmares by Lani Taylor. I have been putting this book off since I read Strange Dreamer. I don't know why. I think I love Strange Dreamer so much, and I was a bit nervous that Muse of Nightmares wouldn't live up to it in my head, and unfortunately it didn't. I gave this book 3 stars. I did have a good time. I enjoyed seeing how it carried on with the plot and the characters and kind of how our journey ends up, but it didn't feel for me as whimsical and magical as Strange the Dreamer did. I don't really know what it was, but it just didn't, and it took me quite a while to... I'd read 100 pages and was like, I'm not in the mood for this book, so I put it down, and then it took me quite a while for me to want to pick the book back up. But I did finish it, and I'm really happy that I have now finished this duology. But that was a 3-star. And then I decided to pick up The Library of Shadows by Rachel Moore. This book I picked up from Waterstones on a whim. I'd seen it one time with my friend, and we were both like, don't know. And then I'd gone in, I think a couple weeks later, and it was there, and I read the back again, and I was like, oh, do actually want to read this. I did really enjoy this. I'm pretty sure this is... I think it might be teen, because it felt similar to... I felt very similar about it, how I felt to Flower Heart, which is a Harper teen book, just because I feel like they felt very similar in the sense of I did really enjoy them. I gave this book a 3.5, but it felt slightly young, and I don't really know. And this is like a mystery. If you want like a mystery based academic love story kind of thing, then I think you'd really enjoy this. And I did have a really good time with this, and I do 100% recommend it, but I don't think it was necessarily for me, even though I had a really good time. But I don't think I'd pick up something similar again. So the next book that I read in April was another new release, which if you've seen my last video was reading my anticipated April releases. These are now going to come up now, from now, because we're at the first one. So this is Fearless by Lauren Roberts. This is the third book in the Paulus trilogy. I did really enjoy this. I did go into it not with as high expectation as I went into Reckless, because Reckless, I know there was a lot of mixed opinions on Reckless. For me, it felt like it was missing something, and potentially it could have been shorter, but I did really enjoy Fearless. I gave it a 4-star as well. I did really enjoy this. I enjoyed seeing how Payden and Kai and that whole, and Kit, and just how the whole plot of the story and the characters, how it all ended with all of them. I'm pretty sure there's going to be another novella in this series, but as of right now, this is the final book. The next book is my favourite book for the month, and that was The Rose Bargain by Sasha Payton Smith. This book just, I loved the vibes. I love books that just give me a good vibe. That literally makes no sense, but like, this is a YA fantasy book, which is kind of Bridgerton-esque. We're following our main character, and she is essentially put into the season, you know, like the seasons in Bridgerton. She's basically put out in society in said season, and the whole point about the bargain is they have to make a bargain to the now queen. I really did enjoy our main characters, and I cannot wait for the second book. So the next book I'm going to talk about is another April new release. I think this book came out the 13th or the 4th, might be the 15th, I don't know. But this is Watch Me by Tara Maffey. This is a spin-off series that is going to be started within the Shatter Me universe. So in this series we are following James and Rosabelle, and I honestly had the best time just being back in this world and seeing like the characters that I'd read about when I first started reading. Obviously seeing James now as like a 21-year-old, and when I first read the series I was 14, 15, and now I'm 19. So it really is just a full circle moment. And obviously I really did enjoy the plot of this book, and I really cannot wait for the next one. Like, I always forget how much Tara Maffey loves a cliffhanger at the end of the books. I gave this book 4 stars. I really did enjoy this, and I really can see like some of the next books in the series being a 5-star. Obviously this is just the first book. Next book that I read in the month of April is Anyone by Sarah Sparrows. This is the second book in the Dunbridge Academy series. That it took me so long to continue the series. It will not take me so long to read book 3, I promise. In this one we are following Charles Sinclair and Victoria Belhaven. It was just such a good vibe. Like, I did just have the best time. It was exactly what I wanted, an easy romance which has a plot. I did just have the best time with it, and I really do recommend this series. Ninth and final book that I read within the month of April is our final new release, which is Great Big Beautiful Life by Emily Henry. Now, this book came out on the 24th, 25th? Yeah, that sounds about right. I I did have a really good time with this book. Obviously, if you've watched my anticipated releases video, you would have seen my more in-depth thoughts on this. But I did have a really good time. I did enjoy the characters. Like I said in that video, Emily Henry books, it takes me a while to see whether the characters stick with me. And obviously it's only been a week, so I can't really say much on that. But I did have a really good time. Actually, it's only been like a couple days. I can't really say anything on that front. But I did have a really good time with this book. It was a 4 stars. Emily Henry had said that it's obviously different than her other books, which I 100% agree. We have a mystery element in this book, which I really did enjoy. And I did really enjoy getting to know our main characters and also the Ives family. I'm not going to say anything else on this book because I don't want to spoil it for anyone that wants to pick it up, and I hope that if you do pick it up, you guys enjoy it as well. Following that note, let's talk about the 6 books that are on my TBR for the month of May. So I actually ended up spending the day with my friend on Saturday, and I said choose 6 books from my physical TBR. I want you to choose absolutely any, and I will do my best to read them in the month of May. So she chose my 6. Here is my little stack of 6 books. Let's talk about the 6 that she chose. She did really good at choosing, and I'm very excited for so many of these that she knows what to choose. Come on. Starting off with Rival Darling by Alexandra Moody. This is I have started this as of now. I'm 32 pages in, but what I've heard about this book, this is a no spice hockey romance. Rival schools, he's on the Ransom Devils, and I think she goes to Sunshine Hills. Obviously I'm only 30 pages in, so I'm not the best, but essentially her mother always told her don't date jocks, and she does, and she gets her heart broken, and he basically, to prove she's moved on, she turns to her ex's biggest rival, which is the captain of the Ransom Devils team, and basically I'm pretty sure they fake date. I love a fake dating. This is no spice ice hockey romance. I know I'm gonna have such a good time with this, and honestly I can't wait to pick this back up after I film this video. So yeah. And then she also chose me Wings of Starlight by Alison Shaft. She knows how excited I was for this book to come out, and she was like, I literally can't believe you haven't read it. I was like, I literally know, like I've just not read it. And so she was like, I'm putting this on your TBR because you need to read it because you were so excited and you just haven't read it. I was like, thank you so much. So if you didn't know, the Tinkerbell films, Disney Tinkerbell films that I grew up watching, in that there's a storyline with Lord Mallory and Queen Clarion, and this is basically their book, and I'm so excited because I need to know, I need the ins and outs of their relationship. I really hope that's what we get, but we'll see. And the next book is a repeat from last month because I did not read my TBR from last month. As you could probably tell from the books that I read, I only read 1 book that was on my TBR for the month. So this is a repeat, but this is An Ember in the Ashes by Sabaa Tahir. I'm so excited to read this book. I honestly don't know why I didn't pick it up last month. I just didn't. I honestly was just trying not to get in a reading slump in between anticipated releases. So I was just reading whatever. If my brain was like, read that, I was going to read that because I was not about to get in a reading slump in the middle of April with anticipated releases coming out. It was not going to happen. So I did not pick up very many on my I picked up 1 book that was on my DBR. So this is a repeat, but she said this sounded really good when she read the back. She really wants to know my thoughts on it. So An Ember in the Ashes is on the TBR for the 2nd month in a row. Next we have A Feather So Black by Lyra Salih. I picked this up on a whim in Waterstones. I read the back and it sounded quite similar to The Cruel Prince, which The Cruel Prince was one of the first fantasy series I read. I think it was like the third, or actually it might have even been the second fantasy series that I read when I first got back into reading. So this sounds very much up my street, and I think I'm really going to enjoy this, and she really enjoys the Cruel Prince trilogy as well, so she wants to know if this is similar or has similar vibe, because if it does, she's probably going to read it. 2 more books. She did put Anytime by Sarah Spritz. This is the 3rd book in the Dunbridge Academy series. Obviously, I did say earlier, it won't take me as long because it took me over a year to read book 2. This is why I said it won't take me as long, because she has put it on my TBR to make sure that I read this book this month. She's like, Christina, you need to finish this series. Now that you have them physically, just read them. So, and she was like, don't leave it too long, read it next month. So it's on my TBR, and I'm so excited to get to this, and I am hoping to get to it soon. Obviously, I'm starting the month out with Rival Darling, and the next book is The Conditions of Will by Jessa Hastings. I was a firm believer I was not going to read this book. Then I saw on TikTok people saying that Daisy and Julian are mentioned, like something's wrong with Julian's sister, or so. It's something along those lines. Even though apparently that's the only time they're mentioned, I need to read this book now, because I love Julian and Daisy so much. So we have The Conditions of Will. I'm really hoping I enjoy this. I have seen people really enjoy this book. This was I had been trying to get my hands on it the whole month of April, but I really wanted to buy it in store, and my local Waterstones did not have it in stock the whole month. But when I went shopping with my friend on the Saturday, the Waterstones that we went to, I did check online before we went that they had it in the store, so I immediately was like, can we go here? And she was like, yeah. And then we went there, and I saw it on the shelf as soon as we walked in. I was like, okay, you're coming home with me. And she did actually technically pay for it, because she got me the voucher for £20, which is the amount this was. This is now on my TBR for the month. From what I know, we're following Georgia Carter, who gets a text saying that her dad's dead. So she goes home for the funeral and is reunited with her favourite brother and meets his sponsor. And then tensions rise when their father's will reveals an inheritance to a mysterious stranger, basically. So there's lots of secrets, and I'm very excited to pick this up. I do really enjoy Jessa Hastings' writing. I just didn't connect to Magnolia and BJ. I did really connect to Julian, Christian and Daisy. So I'm really hoping that this will be a good book for me to read. Is my TBR and my wrap up. We shall see how this May's reading goes. Really hoping we can read all our TBR, but I'm not gonna promise that that's gonna happen. But I hope to see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.